Radio check. Loud and clear.
Hey guys,
We're back. Your favorite. I think this is just like a rant platform at this point.
it really is.
But dedicated to our loyal 100 listeners. Shout out to you
Shout
guys.
out.
Props.
Shout out.
Yeah. There's not a lot going on.
No.
I did. So last episode, I was like, I applied for an apartment. I got approved for that apartment. So new studio setup coming.
Stay tuned.
Featuring what will eventually be I don't know, it might be there, it might not, but I want like this Logan Sargent American flag. Yeah.
There might be matching ones on the wall at some point. We'll see.
We'll see. His and hers. Cass and Ava's.
Oh my god, yeah, because mine would be like blue, and you can make yours pink.
And
it would be
I
his and
could
hers.
pink one. Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect. So we don't have a lot going on. We have a Baku preview, which that's what this is, but we'll get into that later, because we've had some kind of big news, I would say, like this week. And just like, so Abe and I were like in our group chat that we were freaking out because you guys know that we talk about like F2 and F3 and stuff on this podcast and everything.
Yeah.
But so F2 has had a lot of changes recently. And so just like driver lineups and things that are happening. And so we're going to start with that. And we'll get into the Baku and like F1 preview news and stuff in a second.
This is becoming an F2 podcast for a minute, okay?
Yeah, just for a minute.
Also, I do have Invisalign. That's why I sound like a toddler, guys. If you can notice the list, ignore it.
Now they're going to listen.
It's not there. No, they're going to hear it. But yeah, F2. What can I say? So, in terms of the first like big thing, I guess let's go chronologically. So, the first thing that happened, out of nowhere, Trident drops Roman Stonick. And I was like, okay, weird. They move Leo Fornaroli up into his position. Our
F3 champion, remember? He just won the F3 championship. Now he's moving into F2.
Yep. And so we're all like, okay, what? Because there was really no context to him leaving.
Ava and I were trying to do some like sleuthing. We were like, what is going on?
Yeah, we could not figure out why Roman was being dropped. And I think he ended up posting a video like afterwards. What did he say in the video? I didn't get a chance to like fully watch it through.
I can't remember either. I feel like it was just like something along the lines of like, thank you for this opportunity. And like, he might have not confirmed it in that video, but that it just came down to funding, I think.
Probably, yeah. That's been the whole theme around F2 recently. Well, we'll get to that. But yeah, so they moved Leo Fornaroli up into his position for the rest of the season. Kind of Franco Colapinto-esque situation. And then I think either that same day or the next day, with Ollie moving up to, which by the way, K-Mag's been banned from Baku because of penalty points, if you weren't aware.
But that means we get a whole menace rest of the season because he's not got another seat. He's stepping out of a drive. He can leave. He can leave in pure Jensen Button fashion and get like a 70-place grid penalty and just never return. But if Jensen Button
with the 60 place,
if Jensen Button were to ever return, I would flip. I would love to see Jensen Button come back. So yeah, besides the point. Ollie's filling in for K-Mag.
Yep.
But we'll get more into that too in a second.
Yeah. So Ollie's moving up to F1 for the weekend, which means that his seat at Prema is now empty, which, surprise, Gabriele Mini is being moved up for the rest of the season. Or for not the rest of the season, but for that race alone. So you have F3 title championship fighters, both moving up, feeder series wise. And then I'm trying to think. I don't think there's really anything between that and what I'm about to say next. But the piece de resistance, really, of this was, I want to say, like 2 days ago, yesterday, Zach O'Sullivan, Williams driver, junior driver, whatever, post on Instagram. Or, well, okay, first of all, we did see this on like one of those feeder series, like news sources.
Yeah.
And it was basically like, so Zach is leaving ART because of funding reasons. And I was like, hold on. Something about that doesn't sound right. That does not sound right. I need him to confirm this. I need Williams to confirm this. I don't want to believe it, you know?
I want to jump in here and say, for those of you who don't
Yeah.
know, feeder series are like a lot of pay to play. They're paying for their drives. And
Yes.
I don't think, I know we've talked about it, maybe we haven't. The editing will come back to me. But when we've talked about Logan, we've talked about how he was good in his feeder series and he got picked up by Williams. But Logan was at risk of losing his seat because he didn't have the funding that he needed. So F3, F2, really pay to play. You need funding to like stay in there. And so these drivers aren't being paid at that level. And so a lot of their, like what gives them their F2, F3 seat is their sponsorships or is the money that their like family is coming from, because like you don't have to be blind to see that like motorsport, especially F1, is very all of these, like you have to have a very financially stable background. Like you've got to be making a lot of money to get far. And so or at least presenting well or doing like, you got to have connections and you like connections with money, whether it's your parents or like sponsorships. So
something.
Anyway, yeah. That was my. So for those of you who didn't know, but that leads into like the next thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so Zach then goes on like I think like a couple hours later, and he's like, "Yeah, it's true. Surprise." So he is officially out of F1 for the rest of the season because of said funding issues. ART isn't keeping him. Williams didn't really do anything financially, which I guess they can't really because he's paying to drive for them. But I think he's still in the driver academy. He did say that he was still part of that. But yeah, he just is no longer driving for the rest of the season. So yeah, that left his seat open, and we got another fill-in, I think. The third contender for the F3 title, James Browning.
Luke Browning.
Luke Browning. Where did he James from?
James Browning. Because Williams and because of
Jamie. But yeah, Luke Browning, Jesus, he's filling his seat for the rest of the season. That's embarrassing.
Oh, did you already talk about Gabriele Mini filling in?
Yeah.
In Baku? Okay. So, sorry, I missed that part. Gabriele Mini is filling in for Ollie in F2, who's filling in for Kevin in F1. Okay. It tracks now.
Yep.
It's been a long Wednesday.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's unfortunately this man.
That's Zach. That's Zach O'Sullivan. I'll also put a little picture here. That's when he better hair.
So that's
I don't like his hair now.
Really?
Like, yeah, I like his hair in that picture.
Such a fat glare on this. But yeah.
Because there's Frederick Vesti's in that picture, Paul Aaron's in that picture, Dino Beganovic is in that picture, Ollie Behrman.
This is an ancient photo.
What? Yeah, that's old.
Yeah.
It's like old promo.
But this is when he used to drive for promo.
But that meant that Dino was like a baby in that picture.
Yeah. Because Paul was driving for F3. Okay. Dino was driving for F3.
We need to talk about that. Dino is older than Ollie Behrman.
I forget this. I forget that. Oh dear. Yeah. He's older than... No, he's not older than Paul.
Ollie's like 19.
The same age. Yeah.
Dino's 20.
Scary. Yeah. Ooh. Scary.
Anyways.
I try not to think about that.
Not the point.
not the point. But yeah. Which leads me to the issue that I have currently, which is, I was kind of like talking about this earlier, where like it was really just like coming down to how much money is becoming a factor in, especially feeder series, especially because they're not getting paid to drive for these teams, like they're paying to stay on their team, which I think is also, there was like a rumor that Paul Aaron was kind of in the same position to where he can't afford to stay with High Tech next year. Like I think he can finish out the season, but don't quote me on this, but that was something I did see, and I was like, absolutely not. But yeah, so since they have this like standard of paying for their spots, it's becoming more of like who has the more money game rather than who's the most talented. Because like you could put a driver that's maybe like a midfield team, and you could put championship leader currently, but the championship leader, if he has less money, he's not staying. Like, regardless of how good he performs compared to this guy in the backfield. Which is like I get, like, money's important because of how expensive these cars are just to operate and, like, how destroyed they can get if, any sort of crashes happen. But, like, especially, like, it's the fact that this is, like, impacting feeder series, which is, like, supplying you the talent for these bigger series, like IndyCar, F1, WEC, whatever. Like, something just like rubs me the wrong way about that, because it's like these are, first, they're like kids. I mean, if you really think about it, like they're no older than I am, and so it's like weird to think about, like they could lose their job that they're being tasked to do because they can't afford to keep their job, because it's like, and it also just like shoots down so much like good potential talent just because of money reasons. Like, I mean, who knows? Like, if Zach had stayed, he could have been like beating Lewis's record. You never know. Like,
yeah.
But just because he didn't have the money to stay is like, we'll never know that happens.
That poses back to, I think we've talked about it, about the trajectory from F2 to F1. I think that like poses back to that in the sense of like there's not a clear pipeline anymore that F2 gets you to F1, because we've seen like Fred Vesti, we've seen Felipe Drugovich, we've seen Robert Schwartzman, we've seen I mean, plenty
Teo.
of these, Teo, we've seen plenty of these drivers who have had great F2, F3 campaigns, and then but had to give them a seat because we've had so many veterans on the grid that it doesn't open up space for them. And so, as like I don't know if they're called team principals on the F2 and F3 level.
They are. Yeah.
Okay. But like, if I'm looking at that and I'm looking at these drivers, I am sad that it happened to Zach, and I'm also sad that it's like the Luke Browning thing was like that. I feel like that was salt in the wound on like the timing of it. Whatever. I get that they need somebody to race this weekend. But I think if I'm looking at it, they had to consider their options kind of, and they'd be like, like, can we, like, like the sponsors and everything, it's like, do we know that Zach's gonna get a seat in F1 even eventually? We really don't. We don't really know that until anybody's confirmed. I mean, Paul Aaron, he's had a good rookie run in his F2 season. We don't know if he's going to get a seat at all, whether it's in FE or F1. And I just mean, you look at, like, other ones, like, okay, but, before I finish that statement, let me pause. We're going to, like, because Gabriel Bortoleto is rumored to get the Sabre seat over Valtteri Bottas, and I still just have strong objections because, guys, Bortoleto's first F1 test was literally like 2 weeks ago in a McLaren car.
Yes.
I have no problem with. I mean, you might not know it because I've just like spent however many episodes being like, these guys are not ready for F1. I have no problem with like people having great F2 runs going to F1. You know, I have no problem with that. I have a problem with the fact that Gabriel Bortoleto has never driven an F1 car.
Until 3 days ago.
Like 2 weeks ago, and he drove his first F1 car. And of course, he gets a good McLaren to like test it in.
Yeah.
You know? He gets a good McLaren to
McLaren
test it.
is nothing, like a sauber car is nothing
And they're going to
compared
stick
to that
him in a sauber car.
McLaren.
Not even like guaranteeing that they're going to like keep him around for the Audi days, you know? And so it's like, my Brazilian friends, I'm so glad you get somebody to represent you on the grid, but I need you to understand he just drove an F1 car for the first time 2 weeks ago. I don't care if twice he did a 22 to first place run of the grid or like whatever. I mean, the first one he didn't get first, he got 8th, but I don't care. Like, I don't care because that's a freaking F2 car. They pretty much have all the same chassis. Like, they don't get to change their chassis. They race the same one. And for him to, like, be anything close to him being announced that he's the new Sabre driver, I am just like, this is wild. Like, what the heck? Yeah. Good for the guy. Obviously, he's not going to turn down the seat. But, like, his first F1 test was 2 weeks ago. That literally McLaren said that was his first time driving an F1 car,
and they were so proud about it too.
I was like,
huh?
Let me I'm gonna go look right now. I'm gonna find it.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, to be fair though, I think he is a development driver and not a reserve, so it makes sense. But like, still, if he's in contention for an F1 seat, like,
that's
I don't care if it was like kept secret. It could have been kept completely secret from the media. Like, just get him in a car if you think he's up for a seat.
Yeah, just expect Gabriel Bortoleto to have an FP1 practice, probably in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, that's when they kind of push all the rookies out at once. But
yeah.
But yeah, back to Williams making yet again terrible decisions. They again did not. Williams media team. Let's have a conversation. This is a heart-to-heart. This is an intervention.
Okay, wait, hold on. This says so. This was him at. Was this Silverstone? Silverstone, maybe. He was at a track, okay? Here's the real. It says, taking to the track for the first time in an F1 car. So maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm, like, misreading this a little bit. And it's, like, his first time taking that track in an F1 car. But
then it would have been, like, taking this F1 car out on this track for the first time.
Yeah, anyways, so
I think that was his first time in a car.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, because that would make sense too, though, because he's a rookie also this year, which is crazy, but yeah, and so yes, there's so much going on.
Super topic.
I forget where I was going and why I like split into that.
We were talking about Bortoleto getting the seat and him never being in the
I know, but before that.
Oh God. You know,
it doesn't. I mean,
it'll come back to us. We'll just tangent.
But so like. Oh! I was talking about like the trajectory pipeline to F1. Yes. And so it's like we've had these like veterans on like the grid, but because they've stayed around for so long, it gets harder and harder for F2 to have seats. So there's like, and we've talked about what they can do. We either make the grid bigger or we make the F2, F3 grid smaller. And it's like, obviously, you don't want to do that because then there's less and less drivers coming into the sport. But, like, what else do you do? Because if we're going to, and I'm not saying that, like, obviously, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, like, still very talented, don't need to go anywhere yet. But it's, like, kind of what can you do? Because that's, like, 2, 3, 4, 5 seats that I can name that need to stay in sport right now. Because, like, I don't think they're past their prime.
Yeah.
But, you know, at what point do we do something? Because it needs to, I think it needs to get, like, more realistic. Because obviously nobody, like, if the dream is F1, I mean, literally the F2 series is called Chasing the Dream. If they're chasing the dream needs to be attainable. And it's not attainable if you just, like, funnel in 22 drivers, like, 22 drivers a year for none of them to get a seat. Like, when we think about it, from 2022, from 2023 to 2024, there were no new rookies on the grid. None.
Yeah.
0. The entire grid stayed the same. But we still had a 2023 champion, and we still had a 2023, like, runner-up. But where are their seats? You know?
And it's like, I was kind of like talking about this, oh my God, in the group chat, but hang on. Okay. But no.
It's allergy season, lol.
In the group chat, but every time I watch Chasing the Dream, which is like the F2 like docu-series thing on YouTube, F1 TV, whatever, every time that they, like, anything happens, I start like getting on the verge of tears, because I'm like, I mean, to be fair, partially it's probably editing, but also, like, hearing these, like, feeder series drivers be like, you know, like, I'm so excited for my future in racing, like, so excited to, like, you know, get on track and blah, 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 and whatever, and, like, get to F1, and I'm, you know, gonna try my hardest to win, blah, blah. Like, I think that show especially does a really good job of capturing how determined they are and how important getting into Formula One is. Like, that is literally everyone's goal when you're entering a Formula series. The top is F1. But then you have, as of right now, 3 confirmed rookies on the grid, but one of them isn't even in a feeder series. He was, but once he left the feeder series, where'd he go? You know, like, he just became a reserve for Alpine. So it's like, it like sucks, especially because, like, I was watching, like, the whole series from the start today, from, like, the Bahrain episodes, and they were interviewing Zach, and he was like, I'm so excited for the season, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, you don't know what's coming. He doesn't know. But yeah, I was like, it sucks, especially because it comes down to something as, like, frugal as money. Because, like, when you're really thinking about it, like, money is the last thing that a team should be, like, considering if they're trying to get their drivers to win, you know? Like, the goal of F1 or any motorsport really isn't to be like, oh, I need more sponsorships, we need more money. It's to get your drivers to win. That's why you have a team.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how winning is how they get the sponsorships and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And, like, if you want that money to come in, you have to put your drivers in a good enough position to bring that money in with sponsorships, brand deals, whatever.
It
so
kind
it's
of,
like,
oh.
No,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
It kind of begs the question of, like, what does being an academy driver entail for certain academies, you know? Like, if we look at Red Bull Academy, so I saw a thing today, Red Bull has found, like, 6 different drivers in different levels
a whole bunch, guys.
In this year. And so it's like, obviously, we know Red Bull is, like, very well off. Essentially, they just sell energy drinks to support literally every other, like, they have, like, cliff diving, they have parasailing, they have, like, this, like,
they have that, like, boxcar racing thing, like, where it all falls apart.
I was on ESPN one day, like, ESPN Plus, and they have this, like, thing where people shimmy up to the top of this pole, and then they, like, flop over trying to get the farthest that they can on the pole. like trying to land on this target. It's so weird. I can't even remember like what it was called. Like literally, it's like them shimmying up this pole. So like they're like shimmying, and then they like, of course, by the time you're at the pole, it's gonna start going like it's like gravity's gonna take effect, and so like the gravity starts to take effect, and they're trying to like last as long as they can before they jump off and try to get on this like target, like the farthest they can on this. It's this I don't know, but that's what Red Bull's doing in their free time with like so
the money they could be using.
But obviously, like, but Red Bull too, they support a second team. You know, they have 2 teams on the grid, and so their driver academy, obviously, they're gonna have the funds. Like we see Arvid Lindblad going out and he did this show run in Houston last weekend, and he's now, I saw on Instagram, he was being a DJ, and so they flew him to the States to do that. And so, you know, Pato was a Red Bull junior driver at one point. They still have their junior drivers. They have Ollie Gothi. They have Tim Tramnitz is one. They have...
F2 is Isaac Hadjar, Pepe Marti.
Yeah. So they're
They
supporting...
had Enzo Fittipaldi at one point, too, yeah.
Yeah. So they're supporting all these people, and then we look at Mercedes, which Mercedes gets a little bit more interesting because we have Kimi, but then they dropped Paul Aaron, which was interesting, but then they support...
hot take.
They support Dorian Pan to her racing in the series that she's racing in. And so I'm sure they support other drivers. Those are the ones that I know the most and everything. McLaren has their junior drivers, their reserve drivers. They've got Gabriel Bortoleto. They've got Alex Dunn, who's in F3. They've got this little karting champion. He's 14 or something. But they've got him. And so they're supporting people. And, we see kind of what they get out of that. But then you look at Williams, and Williams has kind of fallen from grace. Obviously they used to be this really good team. There were championships that came out of this team. But then you look at their drivers academy, and they want to support all these people, and they can't. So obviously, feeder series are pay to play. You're paying to drive. That's what Franco's doing now, rumored to be doing now, is even paying to drive in F1. But it begs the question of what does being a Williams Academy driver get you if you don't even you're kind of, because if we look at Logan, when he got picked up for Williams, that's what saved his career and pushed him into an F2 season, because another team Williams was one of you teams need to take this kid. And so, Yep.
And
it's I want to know how long the Zach staying a Williams Academy driver thing is going to last.
And Williams doesn't have very cross motorsports, I guess, teams. Really, they're only in F1 and their academy, right? They don't have a WEC series. They don't have IndyCar. I don't think I've heard.
It's not that
any.
hard to look up, but just the fact that neither of us can think of anything.
I've heard of it. Yeah. So it's and that's what I was thinking. I was I get it's all pay to play and stuff, which is the big part of feeder series. But you would think that if you sign a driver to be in your junior academy, to be on standby for you as a reserve, because a lot of times if you become a reserve driver, you're signing up to be a reserve. Ollie's in the Ferrari driver academy, therefore he's a reserve for, I guess, Haas also, because they drive a Ferrari engine. But yeah, it just confuses me that
I do think the driver academy I don't think it necessarily earns you a reserve spot. So if we look at Pato,
that's true.
Pato was a Red Bull junior, you know, and then that didn't happen.
Yeah.
They let
Let's say
him go.
most of the time you get attached as a reserve. So
Yeah.
most cases
so
that
it's
I've
like-
seen, at least.
He was in the Red Bull Junior Academy,
Mhm.
and like then he went, like he started his Indy campaign, and
Mhm.
so it's like I don't like Pato hasn't ever really been like in the McLaren Driver Academy to be the reserve. Like
Yeah.
he's just been with McLaren Indy.
Yeah.
I know not the whole time, but like that's kind of there was no
Mhm.
it wasn't in a McLaren pipeline, like a Driver Academy pipeline.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure like where else. I feel like there's more. Oh, I mean, if we look at Robert Schwartzman
That's
is like he races for Ferrari WEC, but the car that he did FP1 in was he did it in the Sabre car.
I mean, to be fair, he is Ferrari Academy, I'm pretty sure. Unless that's changed recently.
He is
but
what?
Last time I checked, he's a Ferrari reserve or Driver Academy driver.
Yeah, well, he is, but like he drives for the WEC team. So I mean, like so my like relation to that was like he's not a part of the Sabre Academy, which Sabre Academy, they used to have Sabre Academy drivers. I cannot tell you the name of one right now. Maybe
Zane Maloney. Zane Maloney is
yeah.
with Sauer. Yeah, he's in their Driver Academy. And then Terry Schneider in F1 Academy, I think, is also in that.
Wait, which there? I feel like a Fittipaldi is one too. I know Pietro is a Haas reserve driver.
Yeah,
but is it Enzo?
Enzo might be.
It might, but I also.
Oh God, yeah, it totally is. It totally is. Yeah, yep. It has the kick logo on the side of his car.
Yeah, I was going to say because I remember it being on the side of his car. But so, like, yeah, that's the the reserve driver thing. I feel like if you are part of I don't know. I mean, you can't even say that. I feel like I was gonna say feel like being the reserve driver kind of puts you in the driver's academy, but then you have to go back to Pato where he's the reserve driver, but he's not in the driver academy. Whereas, like on the other hand, so
yeah. I mean, it's such a weird situation. It's like you've got all these kids in like an academy training under you, trying to get like the way they make the junior teams or like driver academy sound is like, okay, we're training these feeder kids to take a seat in F1. That's what my original thought of it was. I mean, could they be training them for like other series? Sure. We know, like, you don't know. Like, I mean, I guess Taylor Barnard, was he? I don't think he was a McLaren driver at all, but he's driving the McLaren car in Formula E now. So, and kind of going back to what we were saying about, like, we don't know if, like, Paul is getting the seat in Formula 1 or FE at any point.
I think F1 is, like, out of the question.
F1, yeah, unfortunately. Not this year, but Formula E also, I feel like this next season is also out of contention because there's 2 seats left on the team, and it's Envision, I'm pretty sure, the team that he drove for in that practice session, I think. So, I mean, Nick DeVries isn't confirmed either. Scary.
I thought he was.
Is he? I could be. Hang on.
I thought I saw it on one of those like picture graphics where it shows like the teams or whatever.
Yeah. Hang on. I gotta see. Intermission.
While she's looking at that up, in case you guys didn't know, there's a 6 hours of Fuji, and it is now a life goal to go to Fuji to watch a WEC race.
I mean,
then, so like when I came up with that life goal, I realized that I was like, oh, wait, I'm thinking of Fiji. But this WEC race is not happening in Fiji.
Japan.
So I want to make that very clear. I would like to go to an international WEC race, but I feel
That would
like
be fun.
if I were to do anything, it would be the 24-hour of Le Mans. You know, just full send.
If you're gonna do a WEC race international, it's got to be Le Mans. Like, I feel like you can't just go to like 6 hours of like Spielberg or something
Yeah.
and justify it. But you know, if you're
Fine.
going to 6 hours, whatever, good on you.
Radio
Wait,
check
okay,
meetup at the
Nick degrees.
24-hour Le Mans.
Be there, be square.
24-hour live episode.
Oh
We'll
god.
stream on Twitch. We'll stream somewhere.
No, I think we could do that. I think we could pull it off, TBH.
Streaming on Twitch.
24 full hours? Oh yeah. It'd be like pitch dark, you can't see us at all. And we're like, yeah, guys, so like, it's
We're
hour
sleep-
12.
Camera's literally watching us sleep in shifts, waking each other up. Look.
Or like, look, someone crashed. There's a 6 hour safety car, get up.
We're only 6 hours in.
But okay, Nick DeVries is confirmed. I'm lying.
Yeah.
But Envision, yes, they have not confirmed their drivers, and
So,
that is
yeah.
Ultra 4.
But back to circle back again.
Back to, yeah.
Yeah, Zach O'Sullivan. Literally, I was saying. You said
Like
James.
James Browning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was his name.
James Browning. Luke Browning, Zach O'Sullivan. I promise we're not trying to butcher you on purpose. It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, not.
I'm in
Not
school.
on
I'm
purpose.
tired. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I just think that it's very, very interesting.
Mhm.
And then also in other news, our goat, our Bombaclat, Nicholas Solaf will not be doing another run in F3, which power to him, but he's also not been confirmed for an F2 seat. I don't even know when those confirmations come out, you know?
Yeah,
For like,
I mean, they've come up pretty quickly. I
but
mean,
like
Leo
they
announced almost immediately.
because F2 goes through Abu Dhabi. Like,
That's right. Yeah, they can't confirm a seat. Interesting.
so yeah, we'll see if he comes to F2 or not.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
he was racing with ART in F3. I don't know if ART is going to have a spot open in F2. We'll see.
In relation to that, hey, let me show you all something. Let me show you something.
But on top of that too, oh shoot, I forgot what I was just going to say. Darn it. What was I going to say?
Okay. This is
Oh,
called Nicholas Solov liked my comment.
Bonnie got her like, we're getting in.
We
Like,
did it. We're in.
he knows Avani exists, so now we just got to put the podcast in front of him, you know?
And, you know, Dennis Hauger also liked this comment. I called him
Yes.
D-Money, and apparently that's something that he thought was funny, so he liked the comment. Yeah. Shout out D-Money, I guess.
I really forgot what I was going to say, you know? So mad. I don't even know what I was saying before that.
Something about James Williams, Zach Browning.
No, that was way before.
Was that way before? Oh,
Yeah,
God.
this was related to Nicholas Olov, I think.
Oh, he's not doing another season in F3.
Yeah, he's not doing F3 again. But
He can't confirm F3 seats in F2 because F2 continues to Abu Dhabi. But yeah,
rats. Oh, I remember. It actually has nothing to do with Nicholas Olov. It is that Prema have confirmed their IndyCar seat numbers. We have two numbers, number 90 and number 63.
83.
83? 83.
I think so.
What?
It was higher numbers, for sure. Hang on, fact checking. Yep, 83 and 90.
Okay. 83 and 90, so, yeah. We do not know yet if Oscar will be on the grid. Somebody actually told me that it might be Robert Schwartzman and Callum Islet. I was like, what?
Wait, Oscar?
No, what?
You said Oscar.
No, I said Robert Schwartzman.
But you said, I don't know if Oscar's going to be on the grid. Roll that back.
I said I don't know if Logan's going to be on the grid.
We do not know yet if Oscar will be on the grid.
It was Logan. I said Logan.
I swear I heard Oscar.
No, you've watched too many Oscar edits.
I'm becoming TikTok brain rotted with Oscar edits.
TikTok F1 brain rot exists. Anyways, so we don't know if Logan's got a seat yet. We don't know if he will have a seat. We're really out in the trenches here. But
yeah.
With that being said, we are now at the part of the show where Ivani is going to read you her slam poetry of a diss track.
This is supposed to be a diss track.
A diss track. Yeah, we were gonna have.
I forgot to write it.
Apologies. I got home too late to finish the beat that I was working on, so it's now just slam poetry. So we will have a moment of dramatic silence. There will be some dramatic music playing in the background as Ivani reads her slam poetry.
Okay, wait. Can I add one more line?
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, hang on. Let me.
We can live brainstorm right now.
Okay.
We can add on to the end. It's fine.
Yes. Last line is talking about failure, but it also rhymes with something before that. Yeah, you'll see.
Whoa.
What rhymes with happen?
Like happen or happened?
Happened with a D.
Oh. Well, I had one for happen, and it was clapping, but strapped in. Those are like kind of rhymes.
Oh yeah, that's like a One Direction rhyme. Have you noticed that One Direction lyrics don't actually ever rhyme?
Yeah, no, they just use their like accents.
Yeah, they're half rhymes.
Yeah, they make things like they sound like they rhyme. I can pull up thesaurus.com. Wait, actually, no, I need a rhyming. That wouldn't help. I need a rhyming dictionary.
Oh, wait, hang on. I got one.
Okay.
You
got one?
Yep.
Okay. Everybody, now's the time. Whatever you're doing, if you're listening to this in the background, stop.
If you're driving, park the car.
Safely. Yeah. Please do not crash. Like, do not just stop on the exit.
Yes. Okay. Let me get my little phone stand.
Oh, here's one. Satin. That's, like, perfect. Anyways.
Okay. Should I get my karaoke mic out?
Sure.
Okay. Hang on. Okay.
I can look away.
I can turn off my camera. Laughing. No, it's not you. I'm just looking at my phone and laughing. Okay. Team Willie swapped LS for Franco. Motherfucker, y'all ain't got no banco. So your drivers are gonna cause lots of fear. Are you kidding yourself? Hold my beer. Didn't bring a spare chassis to Australia. Bro, that logic was a complete and utter failure. You were once world champions. What happened? Now you're giving O'Sullivan a second. And that's it. Empty.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't hold it together. That was so good.
If someone wants to take that and put it over a beat, you're more than welcome to.
Give us radio check the remixes. We'll make it our new theme song. Our new intro. our new commercial music.
We cut to like a brand deal, and it's that.
It's like,
Okay, let's ask the man himself. What did you think of that? That was bloody lovely.
stop.
Whoa, Zach.
We're getting too comfortable here.
What did we
It's
come
fine.
to?
It's fine.
How did we end up here?
This is not a safe space.
Pour your hearts out about how sad we are about money being the big factor in Formula One, and now we're doing Williams diss track slam poetry.
Anyways,
Williams, that was all fake. I love you.
do not stew. We have no grounds in the we have no fight. We have no grounds in this fight.
Yep, I have fair use because I was making a parody of what.
But
I don't
also,
know.
totally, you have IP because you came up with that all on your own.
Exactly. Yeah, that was all up here. More
Okay.
more verses coming soon, guys. Let me know if you want more verses of that.
We'll run it back with the McLaren remix the next time they screw up. Which
you can write the McLaren remix. I'll do the Williams remix. And if Ferrari messes up again, I'll write them a diss track as well.
okay,
Everyone getting a diss track.
yeah. With that,
With that segue.
we can move, we can get into Williams where they're actually at, which is Formula One. And that leads us into our race preview in Baku. So we are at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And here's my little trivia for you, which it's really not that cool, but Checo is the only driver to have won multiple times. And the 3 times that Charles Leclerc has been on pole, he has not won. And Nico Rosberg in 2016 won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix before it was called that. He won it when it was called the European Grand Prix. That is the extent of my trivia. Thank you to Instagram and whatever Instagram site account I found that from, because I do not remember, and I tried to find it today, and I couldn't. So sad.
If that sounds like something you wrote, shout
out. It might
out.
make it into sources. It might not. We'll see.
You never know.
Yes. We were in Baku this weekend. As we've mentioned, Ollie Behrman is racing for Kevin Magnussen.
Sprint weekend?
Huh? No.
Is it a sprint weekend? It used to be at one point, right? Okay.
Not that I know of. Because I know Singapore. No, not Singapore. Wait, hold on. Let me.
Wait, oh my God, Cass, we forgot the majorest news of all.
What?
You might have realized I'm wearing a lot of green recently.
I know I haven't forgotten that news. Calm down.
Okay, good.
Calm down. I have not forgotten that news. Chill out.
Okay, good.
No, let me get there. Jeez.
Sorry. I'm wearing red currently. If you're colorblind, shout out to you.
I'm pretty sure red-green colorblindness go hand in hand. Don't they?
Yes. Yeah, they look the same. I think my friend is red-green colorblind. Shout out Sam. I don't know if you're watching this. Yeah.
But so, I don't think this is a sprint weekend. But.
No, I don't think it is.
Like we said, Ollie filling in for K-Mag. Gabriele Mini filling in for Ollie in F2. No one else is doing free practice, so nothing there. Yeah, we've got an interesting slate. I do not think that the RB20 will be able to progress anymore this season. And that is because we have theorized for a very long time, months,
years,
when it was announced that Adrian Newey would not be returning to Red Bull, that it would start to be evident in the RB20. And it is now evident in the RB20. and it shall remain evident in the RB20 because here's our big news. Headline. Adrian Newey has been signed, sealed, delivered to Aston Martin. Lawrence, mafia boss, has done it again and spent his money to get the best team. Is it for Lance Stroll? Is it for Fernando Alonso? Fernando Alonso, third World Drivers' Championship coming soon?
Or, Lance first World Championship coming soon.
Whoa, now.
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine, you want to talk about things that would send the F1 world into flames if all of a sudden Lance Stroll just
was winning.
That would be actually
Nothing
insane.
against you personally, Lance.
I would live for it because I love
would be
the
really
drama.
funny.
Like, imagine that unfolding on like a TV show.
Oh yeah,
it would be great.
No, yeah, my best friend, she hates Lance. She has such personal beef with Lance. Shout out Gwen. She actually hates him so much from the bottom of her heart.
How dare she? Because he's literally just his father just buys everything for him.
That's what I'm saying. But she still doesn't like him. So,
but I mean, I would rather have somebody else on the grid. So,
of faith, you're not hearing any of this.
According to Oscar Piastri, he was driving like he was in his first karting race, in Monza. So,
and he's the only person on record to ever make Daniel Ricciardo mad. So,
yeah.
Driver-wise.
Shout out to Daniel Ricciardo. I now know what enchanté means because I've been doing my French Duolingo lessons.
Okay. I want to start learning Italian.
It means nice to meet you. I need to start learning Italian. My brother was like, why are you not learning Italian? And I was like, it's a great question. So
that's going to be my next trick, is I'm going to post a full episode in Italian.
Then we'll be able to sing, the next time you guys hop on, maybe we'll be able to sing the Italian national anthem.
That's going to be your homework. We're going to memorize it in between episodes.
I cannot commit to that at the moment.
Yeah, I've got 3 tests, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. So
sad.
Yep.
But so
prayers for me, guys.
Adrian Newey has been confirmed to Aston Martin. So for those Red Bull fans, do not hope for the RB20 to get any better this season.
Yep. And my fellow Ferrari
try
fans,
to bring upgrades, and maybe they will work. But Checo getting back in the top 5, not likely. Max Verstappen is literally just using his sheer will and talent to pull this car along to as far ahead as it goes.
I think it's spite also. A little bit of spite is coming through, and I think spite is the biggest motivator. So that's probably what's really.
But if Max does not win the championship this year, which he's still very much likely to, next year's silly season may get really silly. Well, it'll be Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari Part 2 because that wasn't announced till February. So. Max Verstappen to Aston Martin, Mercedes, could happen.
Oh, it has to be Aston at this point. I don't think Mercedes is in the question anymore.
No, I think Toto simps enough for Max that if Max signed with Mercedes, Toto would literally.
There is something about the teams with the Mercedes engines where the team principals have parasocial relationships with their number one driver. Or number one driver options.
I mean, Toto, Kimi. Well, right now it's kind of George, but it'll be Kimi. Yeah. And then if we look at Zach Brown and literally Lando and Oscar, both of them, and we look at
James
and freaking Carlos. Literally said that it was dating. That's a little suspicious to me. What do you mean by that?
That's suspicious.
Aren't you married? Please.
That's weird. Yeah, he just had a kid too. Not recently, but the kid's baby, that's for sure.
So, BS. And then we have, in other F1 news, we have Pato Award, for those who don't know. Races in IndyCar, we've talked about him plenty. but he will be driving FP1 in Mexico, and that is his home. Like, that's his home race. So I get so emotional about drivers performing in front of their home crowds. So I love that Pato gets to do FP1 in Mexico.
If you think the support behind Franco, Argentina is crazy, wait till we get to Pato.
Yeah. Yes. Pato, especially since the FIA did him dirty. Anyways. So yes, we will get Pato in Mexico. Which I'm still hoping that Pato gets to drive in the NASCAR race that's in Mexico next year, so he gets like a full race. And eventually I hope that Indy maybe goes to Mexico too. But for now, I'll settle for FP1. Get to see that. Yeah. That'll be so great. Yeah, I literally, like, in the group chat, you can see where it's like, please let Pato be in FP1. We don't know whose car he's going to drive. Maybe, and I've, like, theorized in, like, chats that it's going to be Oscar's car.
Yeah.
If Lando is still in championship contention, because they'll need Lando in the car every second they get. But if something happens and Lando is no longer in championship contention, then it could be Lando's car. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that also means that we will be getting another McLaren rookie later in the season, just like normal. I actually don't think Williams has to have one anymore. They don't have to have another one for Franco, because Franco was the rookie, because he already drove Logan's car. And so now they just need one for Alex. So normally how it goes is that each driver has to give up one free practice, one session for a rookie. So, which I think Ollie Behrman's rookie status expires now, because he will now have driven in 2 Grand Prix events for the season. So nobody can use him anymore as a rookie.
Yes.
In case you didn't know.
I mean, he's done a fair amount of testing with Haas anyways, so.
Well, the testing is different. They can use him for testing, but they can't, like, for FP1, like, rules as to consider who's a rookie, they can't they can't have raced in 2 Grand Prix events. And he raced in
Saudi Arabia.
Jeddah. Yeah, he raced in Jeddah, and now he's racing in Baku. So Ollie Behrman is no longer in contention for those. But I think has he gotten has Ferrari had their free practice?
They haven't put a rookie in. No.
They haven't?
Italian Jesus.
He's not a rookie either,
though. That's true.
So.
I mean, I guess they could put Robert in.
That's that. Yeah, they can.
Put Maya in. Oh my God, yes. Put Maya in. Let's do it.
So yeah. That being said, now that Luke Browning is moving up to F2, I think he's going to be Williams' next rookie that they put in for free practice. So, yeah. Anyways, we can theorize this on a different day. But, so yeah, Pato will be in Mexico. I had to remember where I was. Pato will be in Mexico. Yay.
Yay.
I've heard talks and things that McLaren might actually be like, yeah, we're going to back Lando in the Drivers' Championship. We shall see how that goes. Yeah. Is there anything that I'm missing?
Not that I can think of. I'm trying to, like, run through all the teams and see if anything's popping out.
I think that's it. Because we've talked about Gabriel Bortoleto. We've talked about Ollie and Haas. We've talked about pretty much everything.
The only thing I think of, Alpine's running the, like, pink livery, which is really the fully carbon fiber black with, like, 2 pops of pink.
Yeah.
Very Ferrari move of them.
Give us the pink camo. That's what
for real.
Yeah,
Maybe Abu Dhabi might see that, TBH. If they're ever going to do it. It'll probably be the last race type
maybe.
thing, I hope.
So, but that being said, we have finished the European circuit as to what's considered the European in F1 standards for the rest of the season. So yeah, now we have just the Middle East and then South America and the last 2 races in the States, which I officially bought my Vegas ticket, guys. So we are headed to Vegas. Content for sure. I keep saying that I'm going to put out content, and it hasn't working. I'm really like fighting in the trenches for my life here, and
It's okay. It's okay.
I
Me
literally.
too. I haven't posted my race preview
once
yet.
the apartment comes, I feel like I just need to get to that point so I can I'll have girl boss enough
totally tomorrow.
to. Huh?
Oh no, I was just saying I haven't posted my race preview, and then it froze.
Yeah, I have. And so I have girl boss. Yeah, once I get the apartment, I'll have girl boss my way and to be like, I finally did it, and then I can have dedicated space and no time restrictions to where whatever. And I'll be 5 minutes away from my job, so I don't have to spend 30 minutes of my time. Actually, closer to an hour. I don't have to spend an hour of my time driving from work to home. And so that's 45 minutes that I get back to do content stuff. And it takes me 45 minutes max to get 2 posts done for my recurring whatever.
Period.
So
yeah, I've been
we're getting there.
girl
Just gotta hang in a little bit.
I got a job. I got my first paycheck. I work tomorrow at 8 in the morning. It's fine.
Yeah,
gotta get my money up. Yep.
Also,
I will not be making an appearance at CODA, unfortunately. I have a test on Monday, the Monday after. So
there's still
very unlikely.
There's potential for me to be at CODA.
Do Vegas.
Just because I live in Texas, and because I'm single and do not have to pay for anybody's expenses but myself.
Period.
So before anybody thinks that I am made of money, I am not. I am just really good at saving money. So
yeah, my sister and my best friend both are like, if you ever go to a Grand Prix, you're taking me, and I'm like, yes, but I'm not paying for you.
My brother was my brother was the one where he was like, I just want to fly on an airplane again, so we're gonna go to Vegas instead of CODA. Literally,
real.
What?
Real.
But yeah.
I mean, I'll fly to Vegas just to watch Vegas. We'll see. Actually,
so
when
we
is
will
Vegas?
be there.
November, right?
What? Vegas is in November.
Vegas is in
It's the weekend. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving.
I could do that actually. Wait.
Don't. The tickets are expensive.
Yeah, I have only one exam in November, and it's on the 7th.
You could just skip.
Actually,
to the listeners,
weekend?
This is not us encouraging you to skip class. Do not do it.
No. Go get your
do as we say,
money
not
up.
as we do.
Yes.
Yes. CODA
we are
is
not
on,
good examples.
CODA is on. It's the weekend of the 22nd. It actually would be the 21st because it's on. Practice starts on that Thursday. So.
I'm pretty sure Vegas is the week before my Thanksgiving break.
Yes, it is. That's why my brother's going. He gets out that week.
Bad ideas were forming. Anywho. I have my own money now.
Just
save.
Yes.
So
Vegas is happening. That'll be really very fun.
Yes.
But that means we're getting back into street circuits. We're this is gonna be so editing will not fix this because there's no easy way to piece this back into the order it needs to go. Anyways,
it's fine.
Since European circuit is over, that means we're moving away from majority standard, just like racetracks. We have street tracks now. CODA's a true track. Yeah. Abu
Singapore
Dhabi
is a
is,
street. Abu Dhabi is a track.
yeah. Vegas is a street.
Vegas is a street. Baku is a street.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Brazil that's Interlagos. Interlagos is a track,
Yes.
but
Qatar is a track, I think, right?
mm,
Or is
maybe.
that a street?
I do not remember. So,
I mean, it
yeah.
looks like this. So if that's a street, that looks like it could be a street.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
Forgive us for not knowing everything ever to exist F1 race. We're trying our best.
Yes.
But so, yeah, it'll be interesting. Again, I think if Red Bull's going to make it into Q3, I'm not going to say that they're Max Verstappen will get into Q3. Checo, I'm not really sure if he's back to his consistency yet.
What are the chances of him like winning? Like if
again in the RB20, not impossible because things can happen. But I would say slim.
Yeah.
With his like performance lately and the way that the car is, if Max is complaining like every single race now about the car, I'm sure Checo is too, and they just choose not to listen. Like they choose not to broadcast his radios. So
I'm kind of hoping Carlos pulls something out of his butt. I would like to see another Carlos podium. Maybe throw Orlando on there. Oscar maybe would be kind of funny if that was the podium.
The calculations have been ran, I think, in like certain posts. Max needs to be like P5 and Lando needs to be like P2 for a really interesting championship battle. So we'll see. McLaren, I think they're going to look good. Ferrari, they seem to be back in form, so we'll see. For those of you who have seen Ferrari from the memes, this is Charles' infamous "I'm stupid" track. So that's where that meme came from. And so Charles knows Baku very well. A
little too well, but
unfortunately, like Ferrari fans, you need to hope that Charles doesn't get pole because it might be more likely for him to win. Because the times that he's had pole, he has not won. So I think it's okay to let somebody else have it. Yeah. Mercedes, Lewis has been complaining about the car again. So I don't know.
Yeah. I heard that McLaren wasn't going to touch the car anymore, which also is like, what if it just like kind of
Which I don't
gives up or something,
I don't buy that because you have like downforce tracks, you have tracks that need more aero, like so.
And I think Mercedes is bringing an upgrade, like a big upgrade, and I think Williams is as well. Could be wrong.
Somebody's bringing a floor, I think.
But that might be the Mercedes, honestly. That sounds correlated.
Yeah. So, in other news, the FIA have deemed McLaren and Mercedes flexi wings legal for the time being. So, that's interesting. I would not be surprised if other cars try to bring one here soon. But I would also not be surprised if flexi wings get outlawed in future regulations. So, we'll see. And by flexi wing, if you go look and you find videos on it, it's like, this is like McLaren's front wing, and they have a part of it that's like detached that like that like normally is not detached from the car.
Reacts to the downforce, really, I think.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I think that's kind of really everything. I don't really know who my podium is. For sake of drama, I would want it to be like Lando. Carlos, because Carlos hasn't gotten on a podium with Lando. And Oscar. I'll go with that.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd say the same three. Probably I'd switch Carlos and Lando just because I want him to win again.
yeah.
But
At least he has
yeah,
Australia, you know? Oh,
he does have
wait.
Australia. They do have a car
They
on
have,
the podium.
yeah,
That
they do have a
happened.
podium together. They don't have a podium with Lando winning. So let me
Yes,
rephrase.
yes, yes. That's true.
I want Lando to win for the drama of it.
Yep.
Oscar, I would put him at P2 just for the McLaren constructors, and then Carlos a nice P3 to round it out to be on a podium with Lando's win.
I'm
So
also really hoping that Sauber somehow pulls a point out of their ass this weekend.
see, I don't know if I want that though, because that means that
Yeah,
somebody is gonna overtake Logan. I mean, Joe's already in front of Logan in the championship, but
yeah,
Valtteri's not. So
yeah. I mean, he did win at Baku, like back at Mercedes, so I'm kind of hoping like something ignites within him to kind of bring that energy back. Maybe they would.
unfortunately, he is still in the Saber.
Yep. I'm
There's
kind
only
of hoping that their upgrade is like a jet propulsion engine or like like a rocket engine attached to the end.
some Mario Kart type
Yeah, they bring
power.
star power. Yep.
Yeah. So that pretty much covers it for
Mm-hmm.
our combined kind of spill sesh, our tea spilling sesh, and our Baku preview.
And slam poetry session.
Slam poetry session, the highlight of the session. New, fun, enjoyment.
I will write more verses if that's what you want. If you comment on the podcast, I will do more. So do that. If you want more.
Not guys, please don't prey on McLaren's downfall, because I don't know how much more downfall that I can take personally and sports wise. Because my fantasy team sucked this week. Not my F1 fantasy team. My fantasy football team, terrible.
My first game starts tomorrow.
I got caught into this like trading circle thing. It did not go well for me. So yeah.
What's your team called?
My team, my fantasy football team is called the New Lando No Wins.
Mine's called the San Francisco 69ers.
Oh, I mean, it checks out because I haven't won yet. So when my team wins, if it does, then I'll change the name. But you know what? The goal for my fantasy football season, guys, is I just want to make it into playoffs. If I make it into playoffs, even if I lose like first week, I call that a win.
Yeah, I just made mine like 3 days ago, and my friends and I just kind of picked names that we knew. So yeah, that's how we did ours. Good news is I do not have Christian McCaffrey, so I don't have to worry about that.
Guess who has Christian McCaffrey? Me.
Oh no.
And guess who?
No.
Like, I couldn't put him. Apparently, I could put him on the injury list when they announced him an hour before the game, but I was like working or something. I didn't see that. So like, what?
Working.
I didn't know that was
football is more important than work.
I didn't know that was an option.
Come on now.
So I lost out on the points and I lost my match. Like it was like over. It was Jover for me. Like I was done.
It was Jover. Oh my god. Yeah, I have Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback currently, so I'm really hoping that he did not.
I have Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce didn't do what he was supposed to on last Thursday, so we're gonna hope that we have something better.
Yeah, I'm hoping that too. That's the home team.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, don't prey on McLaren's downfall, but if something were to happen, you can also expect a McLaren slam poetry reading. I'll come up with something. I'll cook a little bit. But yeah, you guys know the deal. Best way to get in contact with us, reach out to us on Instagram, or you can email us. All of our links and info is in our link tree on Instagram, also in the show notes. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let us know. We'll be happy to answer.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
That's it. No. I think that's it.
Okay.
I'm going to charge my microphone for the next time, is my closing statement, actually. That will be ready.
Great.
Yeah.
We will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god, guys. I love you so much.